ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Today, the game is different.
I want to gamble. Gambling is a very serious business. Is that clear?
Welcome to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you here, deep from the swamps of Jersey. We got a great show coming up for you. I'm a huge fan of the World Poker Tour, and in 2022, they are celebrating their 20th year, and they are celebrating their 20th birthday in a huge fashion. They're starting a new tournament series called WPT Prime. They just did a deal with Fubo TV. They have an incredible new fan experience through FanJolt. They got two-time Grammy-nominated music producer Steve Aoki as an ambassador, and they even have NFTs for their fans. And to tell us all about what's going on with the World Poker Tour, we have its CEO, Adam Pliska, coming on to tell us all about it. When we come back, we're talking all about the World Poker Tour, so stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
Yeah, you, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
Wake up, poker fans!
You're listening to House of Cards. Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you. Anyone who listens to this show knows I'm a huge fan of the World Poker Tour. Now in its 20th year, it's better than ever with the debut of WPT Prime, its deal with Fubo TV, its partnership with FanJolt, getting Steve Aoki as an ambassador, and it even has NFTs. And to tell us all about what's going on with the World Poker Tour, we have returning guest WPT CEO Adam Pliska on the line. Adam, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, David. How are you?
I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well, too, because you got a big year coming up, 20 years for WPT. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much. It's been a remarkable ride, and I kind of look back at all of the remarkable chapters, and, you know, it's so nice because when basically everyone in the industry has contributed to WPT's story in one way or the other. Everybody has some kind of place in which they've touched the brand, and it's a nice time to reflect.
I gotta tell you, for a long time, I've enjoyed your events. I've watched WPT on television. I even get learned WPT lessons in my inbox a couple of weeks, so I'm hooked on the WPT. Nice. And the World Poker Tour has been such an influence for a generation of poker players, mostly because, as you said, of the incredible people that were involved with the World Poker Tour. As a person who guides WPT as its CEO, what has been the philosophy of the World Poker Tour for the poker industry?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've really tried to, first of all, I think, it's important to understand that, I didn't create the World Poker Tour. So I had a different perspective. Mm-hmm. Steve Lipscomb, and in fact, it was International Women's Day, yesterday or the day before, and as I mentioned at the Poker Awards, the World Poker Tour was originally founded with Steve Lipscomb and two remarkable women, Robin Moder and Audrey Kenya, who set that out and had this vision, and Steve had this vision. They executed. I came in 6 months later, but as the general counsel. But I've always seen myself first when I was the lawyer, and we brought them public, and we went through all of those things, creating all of those relationships with the casinos. To 7 years later, when I took over, I've seen all of the contributions over the years, and you realize the most important thing to me is to be a steward of this brand and this ethos. And what we try to do is create a canvas for people with great talents and ability and an attitude of dignity and respect to each other can come and add something to this thing that we started. And that's just kind of created a snowball, and we're quite proud of that.
We were talking off air about, over the last 20 years, the poker industry has gone through changes. And certainly the last couple of years, the poker industry and gaming industry has gone through lots of changes. I mean, as we come out of this crazy 2 years of the pandemic and people are starting to get back at the tables in bigger numbers, what do you think the state of poker is, and how has WPT adapted in light of what we've gone through over the last 20 years and the last couple of years?
Yeah, well, first I just want to start by saying thank you to all of the poker industry for being such a support, not only to the World Poker Tour, but the other poker entities when this happened. I mean, I remember our first event, our event in the Philippines, that's when we were first hearing of this thing called COVID-19, and it may be affecting some of the numbers. Who knew at that time what the ultimate effect would be? But the patronage and of the players to go online, there was a book many years ago called How the Irish Saved Civilization. It was basically about how during the medieval times, these monks in Ireland kept all the knowledge going. And you look at, press, like yourself and those players who went online to keep those touch points going. It kept us going at a very, very difficult time. But what it also did is, I think, again, not just the World Poker Tour, but through others, we developed best practices that are going to make this industry stronger. I mean, I remember the first, the event where we're like, well, we need to have an event. We have this charity thing, and we can't be physically together. And we got Jose Andres and John Hamm and Jason Alexander and Kelly Slater and a group together, and we were and we couldn't physically be in their places, even to show them how to go online, and we had to tape a show like that. And the ingenuity and the creativity of people coming together, it felt like the very early days. It felt like 2003, 2004, the World Poker Tour, where we're just kind of making it up.
Yeah.
And I know that was replicated at, with Maury at Poker Go. I know it was replicated at World Series. It was replicated in many places. And the result is, I think we have a stronger industry. In addition, I think a remarkable thing happened that that we had a fear that didn't come to pass. Our fear was, poker's not going to be available. People are going to lose interest. On the contrary, they realized how precious it was, and the degree of pent-up interest anytime you could see it, the record numbers when we finally would come out, I think is a result of that.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards. We'll get back to the show in a few moments, but I just wanted to take some time and tell everyone about Bean Genius, the smart specialty coffee subscription service. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country. They feature over 2,000 specialty coffee blends, all at your fingertips at beangenius.com. Here's how it works. Head on over to beangenius.com and take their palate profiler test to find out what coffee best fits your taste. Then select from a variety of subscription plans. Every subscription comes with free shipping, and delivery can even be scheduled for once or twice each month. And based upon your review of each coffee blend you try, Bean Genius actually learns your individual taste preferences and then suggests future coffee blends for you. And now you can get 10% off your Bean Genius subscription when you use our promo code PIKE at checkout. Bean Genius offers a variety of subscription plans to suit any coffee lover's needs. Subscribe with Bean Genius today and start enjoying some of the best tasting coffee around. And save 10% off your coffee plan with promo code PIKE.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishottle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Adam Pliska, CEO of the World Poker Tour. One of the big and exciting changes for the World Poker Tour is the debut of WPT Prime. I've been reading articles about it, and it sounds like an incredible tournament experience. For people who don't know, what is WPT Prime?
Yeah, so Prime is the base level. First of all, you may remember the WPT Deep Stacks,
yes,
which Deep Stacks brand, which is served us well. And that genesis was, years ago, we did big main tours very well, and our regionals, those are areas that we always knew we could improve. Thus, I ended up at a breakfast with Chris Torina. Next thing, we were acquiring that company. Chris helped us greatly. Then it was developed more into, as part of our canon of events. But Prime is an evolution of that. It is a way, now that Deep Stacks had so much popularity, it's a way of standardizing this so that those people at that mid-major level can really truly feel like they're competing, not just playing an ancillary event on the WPT, but playing in something where they're being recognized, the awards, they're being followed, they're being tracked in a serious fashion, so that they can, whether or not they're ready to step up to the main tour level, they're going to be treated in a way that that's respectful of what they're doing. And I think you're going to get a whole new audience from that as well. It also gives us a great chance to put a lot of people into the World Poker Tour events through a number of initiatives that you'll be hearing about over the next 6 months.
Well, where are some of the events being held that involve WPT Prime?
Yeah, so we do have events coming up, but first we're going to complete the Deep Stacks events, which are just right around the corner. We have from that we have the Netherlands coming up, which is a wonderful stop, and I can just say that it is such a great thing to hear Europe opening, opening again, and down in Sydney, in Sydney as well. I'm actually going to go. I'm so happy to be leaving the country again, and coming out. But you're going to be hearing a lot about the primes coming up, and and as I say, in a couple of weeks you'll be. We're going to be giving a far more robust, some more announcements, but I think people are going to love this.
You mentioned the retirement of WPT Deep Stacks. That's been such a popular component of the World Poker Tour since 2014. Was that a difficult business decision to let Deep Stacks phase out, or do you think WPT took that as far as it can go as a tournament series?
No, I think that, I actually, the one thing about World Poker Tour is it is always evolving, and it is changing, and I love that about it. It's just, it is part of our story. It's not that we've decided, Deep Stacks is, was a mistake, or on the contrary. I mean, Deep Stacks did great things about allowing us to engage with that market. But it is an evolution for us, and we should always be changing. It's just like as I said that the Poker Awards, when we changed the name of the Champions Cup and it became Mike Sexton, Mike Sexton's name got on there. I think, that was an evolution.
Sure.
What we do with main tours, as it was a very big deal that you were going to do main tours and you're going to film the TV events in a central location in Las Vegas. That was quite controversial. But we're always going to be changing. We're always going to be evolving. But when you look at the genesis here, it's actually a tribute to Deep Stacks, because Deep Stacks did so well for us. We realize that now, this is an area that we can give the same degree of, sanctity that we would do for main tour events right at that prime level. So I think that's going to benefit the players quite a bit.
Now, for people who enjoy WPT on television, what can we expect from WPT Prime? Can TV viewers expect full coverage of all the events from WPT Prime?
So we will get you will have streams, and so you're going to be in which I just. Here's an example of where the industry has just done so much, right? Look at what streaming has done. Yeah. Over the last few years and how great that is. But, to your point, I can imagine even primes finding their way on TV. It is possible, and it's something that we, it's as part of the lineup that you will see on the, on the main distribution on Bally Sports or the other things as well.
Well, now, speaking of TV, World Poker Tour just signed a deal with Fubo TV. And truth be told, this radio show signed an affiliate deal with Fubo. And as part of it, they gave us a subscription to the streaming service. So I was extremely happy when I read that WPT is distributed on Fubo. So I'm going to be extremely selfish with this question and ask you, what can I expect to see from WPT on Fubo Sports Network? Yeah, you're gonna see classic shows. Great.
You're going to see the great thing is you're just going to be able to access the World Poker Tour in ways, all of the time, and keep those touch points. And, one of my favorite things is, I travel around the world and somebody will say, oh my God, I saw in season 5, we did XYZ, or season 7 had XYZ. And it is, it is a chance for making the World Poker Tour that much more accessible. And we're very excited about that, that extension of Fubo TV. We have, if you look at the numbers of the World Poker Tour, it is amazing. But the reach of the World Poker Tour has gone from, say, 50 million to 300 million worldwide. And it is deals like this that allow that to happen. And, it is, we do everything that we can to make sure that the World Poker Tour is, available to people at maybe they're a part of a subscription, but that's it. We just want people to be able to, see that service, and we love the fact that we have so many followers.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards. Today's trip down the turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from House of Cards with your House of Cards gaming report for the week of March 14th, 2022. A Las Vegas police officer that was charged for an armed robbery at a casino may be involved in 2 other casino robberies. A judge charged Caleb Rogers with the robbery at the Rio Hotel and Casino, and the FBI has indicated that he is a suspect in the robberies of the Red Rock Casino and the Aliante Casino. Investigators allege that over $200,000 were taken in both these robberies. Another casino robbery incident occurred this time in Maryland. At the MGM National Harbor Casino, authorities believe that fireworks were set off inside the casino to provide a distraction for robbers to steal chips. The police discovered chips missing after patrons of the casino began to flee thinking the fireworks were gunfire. Authorities say they have several suspects that they are investigating. And finally, there are mermaids at the Silverton Casino. To entertain families and children who visit the property, the Las Vegas Casino has hired trained swimmers to swim in their 117,000-gallon aquarium dressed like mermaids. The aquarium has upwards of 3,000 fish of 100 different species from around the world. Sounds like fun for the kids. Have any news or tips regarding casinos, gaming, or legislation? Send us an email at newsroom@houseofcardsradio.com and follow us on Twitter at HOC Radio.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Do you know what a straight flush is? It's like unbeatable.
Like unbeatable is not unbeatable.
Hey, I know that now!
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Adam Pliska, CEO of the World Poker Tour. By the way, season 10 was on Fubo today, so I was just watching it today before I came down to do that thing. So, but as a media property, WPT is a media property. How important are streaming platforms in today's media landscape? As a person living in the New Jersey, New York area, I've seen WPT programming on some of the local New York sports channels. Will you move away from that and concentrate on streaming platforms? Or will there be a combination of both? How do you move forward with Face?
They're incredibly complementary as part of the World Poker Tour strategy. So part of the reason that WPT has succeeded so well in the OTT, the digital world, for those who are, watching online. And to give you a sense of what I mean by that, the World Poker Tour itself is in the top 10% of all programming that is on these OTT channels, and in the top 4 or 5% of all sports. I mean, it has really, really been great for the World Poker Tour. But part of the reason is, we still have we still have this relationship with linear TV. It still hits a lot of people. It still keeps that quality extremely high. And sometimes we forget, we're sitting here, you're in New Jersey, I'm in California. We sit here thinking about the U.S., but we have a neighbor down here in California. We have Mexico.
Sure.
And Mexico is having over 2.5 million people watching that show in a week on free linear television, right? I mean, these are massive, these are massive numbers. And, interesting enough, you look at some of those splits, there have been times that demographic has been 50-50 male and female, which is something that we hadn't seen in the U.S. before. So linear television is still going to be a very big part of what we're doing. It's just going to be complemented with that ease of access that these incredible, the incredible OTT distribution provides.
I want to ask you about another great way the World Poker Tour is connecting with its fans, and that's through their partnership with something called FanJolt. It seems like it's a very innovative way to really connect with your audience. For people who don't know, what is FanJolt?
Yes, so FanJolt is, FanJolt is a great platform to, if you have a celebrity, somebody that you want to connect to, that you're really, serious. Not just, you're on Instagram and you follow multiple people, but somebody who you're like, you have an investment in that person, and you really want to have an experience at a different level. FanJolt allows that. FanJolt allows, people not only to follow them, but to have conversations where, you can have chances to, you can have chances to have direct one-on-one conversation, be pulled into the conversation, elect to, have one-on-one experiences that are really, really unique. And so it's this is a chance to, oftentimes we're fans of people, and then we're kind of super fans of people. We always have those groups. I for my nephew, I won't disclose what football star, but I put him in touch with. But he was on FanJolt. He couldn't believe it. Next thing he knows, he's talking to a star. He's having a one-on-one experience, and for, a kid in his teenage years, this has allowed him to, go back to his school and really have something to talk about. But for us, there are, in this world, how do you connect? How do you really able to connect so that the celebrity knows who you are? And what I love about FanJolt is it's very it's discriminating. Those who are on it, who they pick on their, the criteria. It's great. I know the people behind it. I completely, I highly suggest everybody go down there. If for anything else, download FanJolt app, go check it out.
It sounds like an incredible opportunity for fans to actually talk with their favorite World Poker Tour celebrity. So what, people just go to FanJolt and download an app, or do they go to WPT website, or how does that happen?
Yeah. I mean, we can, we'll link you there, but you can go down and get the FanJolt app and, sign on there. You'll get to see, you'll see our section and see where you can you interact. But it is a terrific opportunity. It's one of those things, you'll go on there and then you'll also find a bunch of other people that you're like, my God, I would love to do that, or this is a great gift. That was my thing with my nephew, is give him a gift. But it's a fun experience, and it's a different offering that's out there. It's there are other things where you can pay money and be in a group, but you're really in a group of a very, very large group. This is really a chance this is about interaction, real interaction with the celebrity of your choice.
The great thing about WPT is how it uses technology to really connect with the poker industry and its fans. I mean, one thing that's been in the news lately, and I can't do an interview or a news story without mentioning these things, and they are non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. I think WPT is doing amazing things with NFTs with the launch of the Poker Heroes Club. What is the Poker Heroes Club?
Yeah, so first, World Poker Tour had some history now with NFTs, before we even got to this, and that we launched our NFTs with just a couple people in my in my organization basically came to me and said, hey, you know, we really need to get into this. There are people who want to be able to own a little piece of, World Poker Tour moments, and we've been able to do that. And that has been great. And, you know, with that, we were able to share some of the profits with the players that were on there as well, which is nice. But it's been great because there have been people who've, you know, and it's been a robust interest of people who've been able to take download moments. But, you know, Heroes is going to be in connection with some online partners, as the online partners that we work with, and you're going to be able to unlock different things, and that's what's really going to be exciting. We're going to be able to, as you know, WPT has a long history with, you know, at least for the last 10 years of having online partnerships.
Yeah.
And as that plays out, you know, and you're going to be able to get NFTs that unlock special privileges, special events and things, and the WPT, you know, physical events and the online events kind of tie together. You're going to see that NFTs are going to be playing a very, very important role. NFTs have, you know, had the same criticism as Bitcoin. Oh, well, is it just, you know, is it speculative or whatever it is? But the nice thing about poker is poker, as you know, used crypto technology. I mean, people actually used it, right?
Yeah.
And absolutely with NFTs. I mean, this is a very new chapter, but it is a chapter that provides a utility that's going to be great for on and offline events. And you're going to see that mix of on and offline activity come together more than ever this year.
You know, a couple of weeks ago on the show, I said I'm constantly talking about NFTs, but I don't own one. So I'm looking for my first NFT, and I think this might be the one. So as a poker fan, as a poker player, but a non-NFT owner at this moment, how do I go about becoming part of the Poker Heroes Club and acquiring my first NFT?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all of the thing I say, you know, go online, go on to our online. We'll link you there. We'll bring you to it'll get you to the spot. You can download that, get ready. And in the meantime, you can also go onto, you know, Theta Network and get the WPT moments as well.
Okay. You know, one of the interesting things I saw when you acquire your Poker Heroes Club NFT is that you can actually play against some of the World Poker Tour celebrities. I mean, you can actually sit at a table with Vince Van Patten, Tony Dunst, and Lynn Gilmartin.
Yeah.
I mean, how does someone actually get to do that? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd lose to each and every one of them, but what an amazing experience that would be. How does soone get to sit and play?
And by the way, not necessarily.
I have absolutely no confidence in myself. So.
Well, I mean, that's the part of the utility is that these NFTs are allowing special opportunities, and it gives us a chance. You know, we used to do before there was ever NFTs, there was Club WPT for people in the U.S., right? ClubWPT.com. People got a membership to ClubWPT.com. But what did it mean to be part of Club? Well, it meant that you had opportunities that were happening all the time. And one of my favorite is that we would randomly pick people and take them to the WPT cruise. You know, I mean, last cruise was in Europe, and we did 7 stops, and there were people on it who were like, "Oh my God, I joined the club, and now I was able to go on the cruise and go through that." Well, imagine that on NFT form where you are going to be invited to special things, special binds, they play. And, you know, that's what COVID did show us, you know, with Lynn and Matt and Tony and Vince. They loved playing online. And so they will love that. You can throw them off. Don't worry. I'm putting my money on you, Dave.
Oh, thank you very much. And now one other person you could possibly play if you get your WPT NFT is your newest ambassador, and that's Steve Aoki. I mean, Steve's an incredible poker player and also a genius music producer, so he's famous in 2 worlds. What role will Steve play as an ambassador for WPT?
Yeah, well, first of all, I couldn't be more excited to have Steve on. What you're starting to experience and what you will see throughout the years, that WPT is making a lot of changes more and more toward the lifestyle that's around our tournament. And yes, Steve will fulfill all of those things that you would expect in an ambassador. You're going to go to events, you're going to see him, you're going to have some special opportunities to meet him. But more than that, for what I'm excited about is, I just recently had dinner with him a couple weeks ago, and we were just talking about all the fun things that we can do at WPT. He is really helping us to think about the creative experience that we're going to be developing around the World Poker Tour. And to me, that's a very different way of using an ambassador, right? I mean, oftentimes we see ambassadors, they're the good representation. It's nice to see them at the event. You can interact with them. Well, that's all going to happen. But Steve, as you said, this guy is a creative genius and a really good human being. I mean, he's just a super good human being. And his thoughts and energy, and he's so excited about bringing what you would experience, some of those elements. I after we had dinner, I went to one of his shows, and it's magical, right? And we're going to bring a little bit of that magic to around WPT events, and he's going to be a big contributor of helping us format that.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
It's not fun making the right play and getting the wrong result. But you know what? That's poker.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishottle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with Adam Pliska, CEO of the World Poker Tour. You answered my next question because I was reading WPT's press release announcing Steve as the new ambassador, and they said he's going to help develop WPT with their new look and feel, and I was wondering what that meant, and I think that was a great explanation that, it's going to be fresher and ever-changing, and I love the fact that the idea of an inclusion of a lot of people with Steve Aoki as your ambassador.
Absolutely. You can already start to see, the logo has changed, has a more modern look to it. You'll start to see those elements. Look, we just had an event. If there was any question of whether or not Steve is deeply integrated with World Poker Tour, I had this idea. I said, hey, could we just fly people in and go to your house? And the answer was absolutely. So, we had a contest and people got to, put in for this contest. We took 5 people from all over the world. They came to Steve's house. We had a poker event. Phil Ivy's there. I mean, can you imagine?
Wow.
You know, you're out there. You're on Instagram or wherever it is, and then you win this contest. You come in here. You get to go. You're a fan of Steve Aoki. You not only get to meet him, you get to spend a day at his house.
Wow.
You know, you're jumping in his pool. You're eating his food. You go downstairs. You're playing at a poker, and Phil Ivey is across from you. I mean, it was a magical day, and I we're going to be seeing more fun things like that.
Well, WPT always has the greatest events, and as we move into the spring and summer months of 2022, what can people look forward to in the coming weeks or the coming months from the World Poker Tour in terms of tournaments and events? Yeah, sure. Well, you definitely, like I said, if there's any chance you can get to the Netherlands, come and meet me over there in the Netherlands. If you haven't been, it's such an amazing experience, and it's a wonderful thing, and it is a symbol to me that some of the more restrictive areas of poker are opening up. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be great. Yeah. Sydney is going to be great. Going back to Seminole, everybody loves being back into Seminole. Being up at Thunder Valley in late April, and going to Choctaw as well. Mm-hmm. Choctaw has done a remarkable job, and I remind people that it is. You think, oh, Choctaw, how am I going to get there? It is it's actually a great trip, and I've learned this from Vince Van Patten. What you want to do is when you get there, you want to stop at some of the great barbecue places on the way. Oh,
if you
okay.
get and you'll have the best barbecue. Go up to Choctaw; they'll treat you well there. You come out, you have a great time.
Adam, we're running out of time, but if people want to find out all about the great work World Poker Tour is doing with events and tournaments, what's the website they should go to, and what social media addresses should they follow? Yeah, go to WPT.com. Go to WPT on World Poker Tour on Instagram or Twitter, and I have. I'm just going to make one little last bragging session here. Okay. Leading up a lot of our online efforts and our journalistic efforts is Lance Bradley, who just won for his article, The Poker Awards. I'm really excited about that and his team. But come on, join us, come online, interact with us. We're going to be making reveals all year long of some fun things that we're going to do. But please join us to celebrate 20th anniversary, because everybody has been a very big part, and we're so grateful to it. Adam Pliska, CEO of the World Poker Tour, thank you so much for coming on and telling us all about the great things WPT is doing. As a huge fan of the World Poker Tour, I'm sure your 20th year is going to be just as amazing as your first 19. Please come back on anytime you want and let us know what's happening with the WPT. Thanks so much for your time. All right. Thanks so much, Dave. Well, that'll do it for us this week. I'll see you next time on House of Cards.
In your head, gone dead, riverbed.